Okay, so we're diving into the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma today. And I gotta say the title alone, right? It's like, who wouldn't want to unlock their potential with a simple morning routine? But is it really that easy? Let's find out.
Well, the thing is, this book, it's not just some quick fix self-help guide. Sharma, he actually sets the stage with this whole story.
Oh, yeah, I remember that with the entrepreneur and the artist.
Yeah, exactly. They're both kind of struggling, feeling stuck, and then they meet this mysterious billionaire at a conference.
And he's like, I've got the secret to success.
Right. And it all revolves around this 5 a.m. club.
Which, let's be honest, most of us would be hitting snooze.
Oh, absolutely. But Sharma, he makes it sound so intriguing, like irresistible. You almost want to get up early just to see what it's all about.
It's like that whole mentor-mentee thing, right? We're drawn to people who seem to have it all figured out, especially when they're willing to share their secrets.
Exactly. It's not just about blindly copying someone's routine, but it's about recognizing that even these incredibly successful people, they've had guidance along the way.
Totally. Okay, so the billionaire whisks them off to Mauritius, right? To his, like, luxurious retreat.
Yeah, and that's where the 5 a.m. magic really starts to unfold. He starts explaining the science behind why those early morning hours are so crucial.
Because, let's face it, most of us aren't exactly jumping out of bed at 5 a.m. So what's the big deal with those early hours? What's happening in our brains?
Well, he talks about how in the quiet of the morning, your brain's overthinking center, it kind of takes a break. Like that part of your brain that's always worrying, second-guessing itself, it gets to rest and recharge.
Oh, I need some of that. Sign me up for that brain break.
Right. And when that happens, it allows other areas to really shine. You get this boost of dopamine and serotonin, which are those feel-good chemicals linked to focus and motivation.
So it's like your brain is primed for creativity and flow before the day even really starts.
Exactly. And this is where he introduces the concept of cognitive bandwidth. Think of your mental energy like a battery. As you go through your day, making decisions, dealing with emails, navigating traffic, all of that drains your battery.
Okay, so by waking up early and tapping into that quiet, focused state, you're essentially starting your day with a fully charged battery, ready to tackle whatever comes your way.
Precisely. You're maximizing that cognitive bandwidth, giving you this huge advantage because, let's face it, the world is not slowing down. It's about reclaiming those early hours, turning them into a source of strength and clarity.
Instead of letting those hours just slip away while we hit the snooze button.
Exactly. It's about being intentional with your time and energy right from the start. And that's something I think we can all benefit from.
Absolutely. So it's not just about being a morning person. It's about strategically using those early hours to your advantage. You're essentially getting a head start on everyone else before they even hit the snooze button.
You're doing what the 95% won't, and that's powerful. But he doesn't stop there. He goes on to outline these 4 key areas that have been common threads in the lives of high achievers throughout history. He calls them the 4 focuses, and this is where things get really actionable.
4 focuses, huh? Okay, I'm listening. Give me the rundown. What's number 1?
So the first one is about really owning your talents. It's not about wishing you had what someone else has. It's about looking at yourself like, what am I good at? And then doubling down on that.
Yeah, I can see that. Instead of getting caught up in comparing yourself to everyone else, focus on your own lane. What's the next focus?
Number 2 is freedom from distraction. And honestly, in today's world, that's huge, right? Because it's so easy to get pulled in a million directions.
Tell me about it. Constantly.
Right. So Sharma's saying, if you really want to excel, you got to be ruthless about eliminating those distractions, especially during those early morning hours when you're supposed to be laser focused.
No scrolling through social media first thing. Got it.
Exactly. Put down the phone, step away from the inbox, anything that's going to pull you out of that flow state.
Yeah. Okay, so we're tapping into our talents. We're minimizing distractions. What's number 3?
This one's called day stacking. It's about the power of those small, consistent actions over time. It's like you improve just 1% each day.
Which doesn't sound like a lot.
Exactly. But over a year, that's a 365% increase.
Oh, wow. I like how you put that. It's like that saying, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, right?
Exactly. It's all about those small wins adding up over time. And those early morning hours. Prime time for stacking those wins.
Yeah, makes sense. Instead of snoozing, you're reading, working on a personal project, maybe just taking a minute to breathe and plan your day. What's the 4th one?
This one's big. It's about personal mastery, like really dedicating time each day to becoming a student of your craft.
Never stop learning, never stop growing, no matter what you do or how old you are.
Exactly. And Sharma, He emphasizes this mastery. It's not an overnight thing. It takes time, it takes dedication. There's research actually that says it takes, on average, like 10 years and about 2.75 hours of daily practice to reach an elite level of mastery in any field.
Wow, 10 years. I don't know if that's encouraging or discouraging.
It's about consistency, right? Showing up even when you don't feel like it and putting in the reps.
Yeah, it's about the long game for sure. Okay, so we've got these 4 focuses, all about maximizing our potential, but then he takes it a step further, right, with the 4 interior empires. Tell me more about those.
Okay, so this is where Sharma, he goes beyond just like the surface level productivity hacks. He's getting at what does it really mean to live a fulfilled life, a meaningful life?
Okay, I'm intrigued. Because sometimes those self-help books, it's all about mindset, 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 which, don't get me wrong, is important. But is there more to it?
He's saying it's not the whole picture. You can't just focus on mindset and neglect all these other crucial aspects of yourself. It's like trying to run a marathon, but you've only trained one leg, you know? You need to work the whole body.
Okay, I'm with you. So what are these empires that we should be paying attention to?
All right, so he starts with mindset, which, like you said, is huge. Cultivating those empowering beliefs, having a positive outlook. But then he introduces Heartset, which is about your emotions, your resilience, your relationships.
So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts, it's about feeling them and then letting that guide how you interact with other people.
Exactly. It's about bringing that positivity into your interactions with others. And then there's Healthset, which this one's pretty straightforward. It's about prioritizing your physical health.
Makes sense. Your body's got to be on board with all of this, right?
Exactly, because it's hard to focus on your goals and your dreams if you're exhausted or feeling run down. And this is where those early morning workouts come in, as well as prioritizing sleep.
It's all connected. You need that solid foundation to build on. What's the last empire?
The last one is Soulset, and this one's all about connecting with something larger than yourself.
Okay, so whether that's spirituality, nature, just taking some time for yourself to reflect, whatever brings you a sense of peace.
Yes, it's about finding your purpose, living in alignment with your values, that deeper meaning, you know.
I do. So we've got these 4 empires, these 4 focuses, and it's
Yeah.
all starting to come together. But how does this actually play out in a daily routine? I mean, especially if we're talking about a 5 a.m. wake-up call.
Well, that's where his famous 20-20-20 formula comes in. It's like a roadmap for those first 60 minutes after you wake up.
Okay, 20-20-20, I like it. It's catchy. But what am I actually doing during those 20 minutes?
So, first 20 minutes, straight into exercise. And Sharma doesn't mean like a light jog either. We're talking intense, get your heart rate up kind of workout.
Intense, first thing in the morning. I don't know about that. What's the thinking there? Besides, getting ripped.
It's not just about building muscles, right? It's about what's happening in your brain too. So exercise, it actually helps reduce cortisol. That's the stress hormone, right?
Okay, so less stress. That's always good.
And at the same time, it increases BDNF. That's a protein that's super important for brain health. So you're not just getting a physical boost, but a mental one too.
Gotcha. It's like hitting the reset button on your brain and body before the day even really starts. Okay, so 20 minutes of intense exercise, then what?
Then we slow it down. It's time for 20 minutes of reflection, journaling, really going inward.
I can get behind that. A little quiet time to gather your thoughts before the day runs away with you.
Exactly. And Sharma's a big believer in journaling during this time. He sees it as a way to process your emotions, keep track of your goals, cultivate gratitude, even suggests using specific prompts in your journal.
So it's not just like stream of consciousness writing, but more intentional reflection.
Right. It's about being deliberate, using those 20 minutes to really connect with yourself. And then for the final 20 minutes, it's all about growth.
Okay, so like learning new things, expanding your horizons, what does that look like practically?
Exactly. This is where you feed your mind, books, podcasts, documentaries, whatever gets you going, right?
As long as it's not just scrolling through social media.
Haha, exactly. It's about active learning, choosing content that aligns with your goals, your interests, your values. Whether it's a biography of someone you admire or a podcast about a new topic, be intentional about it.
Yeah, it's easy to fall into the trap of just consuming whatever's put in front of us, especially first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, this 20-20-20 formula, it's a lot to pack into the morning, but it's also exciting.
It is. It's about taking control of your day right from the get-go. But you bring up a good point. We can't be on all the time. What about rest and recovery?
Yeah, I was wondering that myself because, I mean, a 5 a.m. wake-up call, that means going to bed pretty early, right?
Absolutely. And Sharma, he gets that. He actually dedicates a whole section of the book to the importance of sleep. He calls it the twin cycle of elite performance.
Quinn cycle. I'm intrigued. Tell me more about that.
So he argues that true peak performance, it's not about pushing yourself to the limit 24/7. It's about finding a sustainable balance between periods of intense effort and periods of deep rest.
Okay, that makes sense. Like you
Yeah.
can't be go, go, go all the time. You need to give yourself a chance to recharge.
Exactly. It's like that old saying, work hard, play hard, right? Sharma, he uses the analogy of a farmer. You have your periods of intense cultivation, and then you have your fallow periods where the land is left to rest and replenish itself.
So you're saying those breaks, those periods of rest, they're not signs of weakness. They're actually crucial for long-term success.
Exactly. They're an investment in your future productivity, your well-being. And it's something to be mindful of, even with a 5 a.m. routine. Make sure you're getting those 7, 8 hours of quality sleep each night.
Right. It's not about sacrificing sleep to squeeze it all in.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance, that rhythm that works for you.
Yes. And that might look different for everyone. But being mindful of those fallow periods, those intentional pauses for rest and rejuvenation, that's key. It's not just about the 5 a.m. club. It's about building a sustainable lifestyle.
That's such a great point. It's about the bigger picture.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling inspired to rethink my own morning routine. Maybe not quite 5 a.m. just yet, but definitely more intentional, more focused. I'm right there with you. It's about those small changes, those consistent efforts that add up over time. And who knows, maybe we'll both be joining that 5 a.m. club sooner than we think.
Maybe, maybe. But in the meantime, to our listeners, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the 5 a.m. Club. It's a book packed with insights and practical tips, so if this conversation resonated with you, we highly encourage you to check it out. And until next time, remember, even small changes can lead to big results. So what will you do with your morning?